Welcome to the SoCal Ballet Scene podcast. Welcome back to the SoCal Ballet Scene podcast. I'm Rena Kamariatakis. This over here is Tanya Durbin. We're the directors of the festival, and today we have Haley with us, who is one of the dancers in the festival. Welcome, Haley.
Welcome, Haley.
Thank you.
She was so beautiful.
So you were in quite a number of pieces. 3, I think, right?
Right.
Yeah, which pieces were those?
Okay, I was in Sadie Black's Swing Time. I was in Claire Bueller's Kismet, and then The White Number with Anaheim Ballet.
Beautiful.
3.
Yeah, so Anaheim Ballet was one of the guest ballet companies in our festival. They were actually in both of our festivals, 2022 and 2024. And Haley is one of their company dancers, so she appeared with them. And then we also love her, so we put her in some other things that we were casting ourselves. So what were some of your favorite moments?
Oh boy. Okay, so the whole process was really, it stood out. It was different from any other like freelance pieces. I think for most of us too, since it was such a big cast for the whole show. So the whole rehearsal process really stood out. But I would say the first thing that sticks out in my mind was rehearsal for Kismet. She played us the music and she had said, okay, there's a 6, but it starts with 4 5s, and I'm just throwing numbers around, I don't remember anymore, but it was just crazy counts. And so we went home that first day, and Chris and I think were texting each other, wait, is it 5 6s? Do you remember? Are we gonna remember these exact counts? So that was like a brain tease right off the bat. And it was physically demanding too. It was great in so many ways.
Yeah, counting. I'm not very good at counting. That's a skill.
That's right. That's right. You listen.
There's counting or listening, phrasing, melodies.
I'm a counter.
You are? Oh, good. So it worked out.
That's
It's
great.
perfect casting. Yeah. Yeah, that was a beautiful piece. You guys looked great in that.
Doing a neoclassical work like that it was freeing. Not that we don't do freeing pieces with Anaheim, but it was just vastly different music, different style altogether. It was really fun. It felt great. And there were some students we had in the audience, and they were just like, wow, I've never seen Miss Haley dance like that. Wow, it was really cool. It felt nice.
What was it like dancing with Chris? Because you also danced with him at doing gigs at Anaheim Ballet, but also most like with Damien and Chris. And was it nice to go in an atmosphere like that in those rehearsals?
It was, yeah, again, that was really special too. It was cool to be so independent and like even just little like what handhold works best for you, or what moment do you want to breathe, or take a moment to talk through that. We don't normally get so much independence on that. And it was cool to keep building our relationship and as partners dancing and different lifts we'd never done before. It was a lot of fun.
And that's neat to do that together and the growth that you have.
Yeah.
That's what was it like going from a neoclassical piece to the other pieces that you had?
It was refreshing actually. I think personally I don't change well. I'm set in my ways and I like what's comfortable. So this was really good for me to force myself to change. But I loved it. The atmosphere was so opening and friendly and like growth oriented.
And really, we thank Rena for that because,
Yes.
she really put a lot of thought into picking her team and, just the cast of dancers, but also the behind the scenes team. And it really was evident, just the camaraderie that was there the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really nice. Thank you, Rena.
Yeah.
That was really, really wonderful.
Yeah, well, like I said, I think in another podcast episode is I want I wanted this to be a positive atmosphere for everybody and a good experience for everybody. And I think it comes through because like our whole organization is run by volunteers. We don't have paid staff yet. It's all volunteers, and we're all just so pumped up and passionate. We do it because we love it. And so I think this whole thing coming from a place of people that are just pouring their love into it, that kind of bleeds through into the whole culture of everybody that's getting involved in rehearsals is having a good time and is warm and welcoming to one another. So, yeah.
That did make it really special. Especially the ballet world is so big, and everyone's fighting for a spot in a company or auditioning, and everyone in this big group, we all became friends. And if a lot of us knew each other, we had worked together or danced together, but if you didn't know each other, now you do. Yeah.
That's so neat. What was it? You had to understudy Chai-Pa.
Yes.
So can you tell us about that? Like, what was that experience like?
That was really special too. It was just a couple days before, you gave us a couple days when you had said, let's meet and rehearse tomorrow.
And I was in rehearsals with you guys.
Yeah.
So that was really wonderful.
I don't think I had ever worked with you. I think I took my first class with you after that rehearsal too, and I wasn't in any other rehearsals with you. But I was really excited to learn. I had never learned the whole pas. I learned the variation as a 12-year-old, I think. So I was in my living room at home the day before watching and rewatching, and I watched Tyler Peck, and I watched, who did I watch? Yana with the Royal Ballet, and there was another one. I don't know who. I watched several versions and picked, I physically can do that, or wow, I'd love to be able to do that. But then jumping right into it, and with Brayden too, and we've partnered together, so we knew how to partner together, but you gave us permission to move and dance, and that was really, really special. Different ways that, I look for permission in a lot of my dancing, and as a professional you don't always need that, or you don't always get that, but to have the door open, and that was a great opportunity. And the stamina too.
You were so beautiful to watch.
Oh, thank you. That
so
was so much fun.
And you rose to the occasion, and I just saw just the artistry that came out of you. Just even running
Thank
that,
you.
I was kind of off to the side, just, observing you guys, going through it and just being ready in case you needed to be on stage. And they looked beautiful also. She had a couple partners, but Brayden also, who dances with Anaheim Ballet,
Well, the two of you usually do Sugar Plum Pie for Nutcracker, so they're very used to dancing together.
Yeah.
So it made sense to have you two rehearse together.
Yeah. He can do anything.
Yeah,
he just lifts anybody.
Yeah.
So strong.
I try to jump for him, but he doesn't need it.
Beautiful.
That was special.
Yeah, and you guys learned it really fast because again, I was like, we need some understudies for this, and
Just in case.
because
Yeah.
the two principal dancers that performed it both had knee injuries. They were both performing on knee injuries. It was really like I had no idea what would happen. We had
to be ready.
We had to be ready. And you guys learned it so fast. I think I asked you on a whim, you said yes right away, and then you were ready to go into rehearsal and get it done. And
Jump right in.
yeah.
The choreography just makes sense with the music too. It was a good one to
It's
jump
one of the
into.
most beautiful paws that I think is out there. Chai paw is just beautiful.
And the music. Yes.
The music.
Oh, it's just, you can just feel
It
it.
gives you chills.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
Rena, what was it? What did you have to do? What did you have to do to make that happen, Chai paw?
Oh, yeah.
What was the story behind that?
Well, yeah, so Catherine Morgan, basically she has connections with the Balanchine Trust. So she is the one that was able to get the permission to do it.
Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, Balance and Trust.
Yeah.
Such a pleasure.
Yeah.
be able to do
So
that.
it was really nice to have a Balanchine piece in the program. Yeah.
Well, he just is so brilliant. I love any of those ballets. You know, just the creativity, and you know, most every company now worldwide is doing a Balanchine ballet. So
Yeah.
in many countries. So it's just neat to see his legacy carry on, and it's alive and it just keeps going, and it's tradition almost. So
Yeah, and even though he's one of the most prolific choreographers of our time, I think actually a lot of dancers don't usually get the opportunity to do his works because of there's licensing restrictions that you have to get through. There's hurdles, right? You have to get permission. So I think it is special when a dancer does get to do Balanchine
yeah.
because it's very rare to
And
get that opportunity.
Yeah, and in Orange County too, like for teaching in the area, I, you know, started out with Cicchetti and then went and learned Balanchine when I was 15. We had New York City Ballet principals teach a summer course at the school, and it's nice to be able to, there's a lot of Vaganova, there's a lot of Russian training in Orange County, so you do get that Balanchine training at West Side Ballet, or if you're at Los Angeles Ballet, Laguna Dance Theater does it. You know, there's sectors, but it's not. It's rare. It's a rarity. So it's really nice to be able to have access to that, and to have the dancers here in Orange County be able to dance those beautiful ballets, because they are so. You said they're very special.
Yeah.
It's an honor to dance them.
I got to actually, many moons ago when I was dancing with Anaheim Ballet, they did Balanchine's Serenade.
My favorite ballet.
And that I loved
My favorite.
performing in that. That was such a treat to do Serenade. Oh,
The
Yeah.
music and just.
That one's iconic.
Yeah.
They're all iconic.
Which one is your favorite?
After having understudied Chai-Pa, that has become my
Your
favorite.
favorite ballet?
They did La Source when I was in college, beautiful. After I left, they did Serenade, and we were all jealous that we had graduated and left and now they were doing it. But I would say part of it making Chai-Pa my new favorite, I would say, was the positive experience. But it goes back to the music. And the running entrance in the beginning, I just want to open my lungs and run.
It's
It
beautiful.
feels so nice, yeah.
What was it like for you when you walked into the theater at the Carpenter Theater on performance day? What did you feel throughout your body? Like, it's show day, and can you just tell us what that was like for you?
I don't think it hit me. I left, my dog was left home alone for 12 hours because my boyfriend unexpectedly left, so I was stressed, and I left early, but I overestimated traffic, so I got there early, and I was just sitting there outside there was one other person, and Catherine Morgan actually, and we were chatting about her SAB days, and I said, I followed you when you were in SAB, baby. And so all that, I won't say chaos, but my mind was everywhere else. So then walking into the dressing room, it was a big, beautiful dressing room. I've never had that much space in a dressing room. It still hadn't really hit me. I was like, okay, now I can breathe, I can relax. And then warm-up class, I think it felt great. It was nice that we were all there together. And you had it so organized with everyone had a bar spot. I love that. No one's concerned about having room, where to go.
What was that feeling? Yeah, like when you got on stage, you're doing warm-up class, and you're in that room with the caliber of dancers, including yourself.
I think Damien had said that to me too. We were in the wings halfway through warm-up class, and he said, wow, this is really wild. There's so much talent in here. Like every single person in that class of hundreds of people, it was a lot of dancers. Every single person was stunning. And it was cool to be a part of it, not outside looking in, but we were in there. It felt great. We always say dancing together with friends. So that's why we do it.
It's so neat. Rita, when you hear these stories from these dancers with their perspective, the memories also that you've given them. I mean, you have given hundreds of dancers this beautiful memory of this whole production. What is that feeling for you? What does that mean to you?
It feels good to hear it because it means we're doing something right. It's a lot of work putting this festival together, but the reason we do it is because of things like this, is because we want to create these moments and these opportunities for all of the dancers that are a part of our community in Southern California. And so it's a lot of work and a lot of perseverance, but it's so worth it just for these magical moments that are created. Yeah.
And I feel like it is really life changing for an artist, because of the growth that happens in such a short amount of time from rehearsal until when you're on stage. It's huge leaps and bounds because of the atmosphere that you are in, like it's really like being in a company, and for them that's a huge, I feel like stepping stone.
Yeah, absolutely. It was like company life. We weren't there Monday through Saturday all day, but the weekends were long, hard work, and it felt so good. It was fantastic, and we loved being with each other. It was great.
Yeah, because basically I tried to work the rehearsals around, there's people that have to work too. Like, we both have other jobs outside of ballet too. So that's why I have the rehearsals on the weekends in the summertime to account for that. So.
And not only do you dance, but from what I see when you're on social media, are you like an amazing surfer? Tell us, can we talk about this? Because I see your butt maws in one post, and then another post you're like riding a wave, and I'm like, yes, girl, I did surf like a couple times, but not like her. She's amazing.
Thank you. Part of my deal about moving to California. So I'm from Connecticut. I grew up dancing in Connecticut, New York. I followed my boyfriend here for his job, and I did not want to leave. I was dancing with a company in Indiana for a little bit too. I didn't want to leave my full-time dancing, my friends, my life. And I said, I'll follow you to California if I start surfing. And I was terrible. I was awful at it. They were like, how do you dance ballet? You can't stand on a surfboard. You have no balance. So I committed. I started surfing every single day. It's been almost 4 years. And I love it, and it's helped my dancing.
Really?
My
balance,
yes,
I think.
so much. My surf coach told me in the beginning, he said, you need to start doing push-ups, because I would paddle on the board and go nowhere. And I said, I'm not gonna do push-ups, I'm gonna be all buff in my leotard. And I started doing push-ups, and my abs got stronger than when I ever did sit-ups or crunches or anything. I mean, I still do Pilates, and that helps and everything, but my back muscles got stronger. I was partnering with Marcos for Snow and Anaheim Ballet, and he said, wow, your back is so much stronger, you're so much easier to lift. And I said, great, thank you. So I didn't intend for it to work out. One helps the other, and they both help each other, but I love it. It's great.
Is surfing, are your legs in parallel, or are you turned out?
I turn out
in a fourth.
a perfect fourth. Yes. I'm not quite turned out, but I do turn my legs out, and I'm told you need to point you're not supposed to. Yeah. There are a couple other things too. I have like more of a grand plie in my pop-up. They're like, why are you squatting? It works. It's fine. Why are you not squatting?
So our next festival is going to be coming up this year, September 13th at the Irving Berkeley Theater. It's actually like almost exactly the same calendar date as the last one, because the last one was September 14th. This one's going to be September 13th. It's like almost identical. But yeah, so I'm excited, and I'm excited to work with you again. If you're available.
It's in the planner.
Okay,
I wrote it
awesome.
We're excited.
Yay. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Haley. It was
Thank
so great
you.
having you.
Thank you
here.
for having me.
Yes.
Yes, and we have more interviews coming up in our next episode, so stay tuned. Thanks, guys. If you would like to support the SoCal Ballet Scene and help us create these magical moments in future ballet festivals, please consider donating at SoCalBalletScene.com.